Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global News Daily. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we have an unbelievable story that is making headlines all over the world.
That's right. The former leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, is in a New York courtroom today.
Wow, it is hard to believe. How did he get to the United States?
Well, over the weekend, the U.S. military had a daring operation in Caracas. They captured Maduro and his wife and brought them straight to New York.
That is a very big move. So why is he in trouble with the law?
He faces many charges, like narco-terrorism. Prosecutors say he helped send huge amounts of cocaine to the U.S. for many years.
Exactly. They say he wanted to weaken American society while making his friends rich. Today, President Trump spoke about this victory from the White House.
Right. President Trump called the mission a definitive victory for the rule of law. He said the U.S. is in charge of the situation in Venezuela for now to keep things stable.
And don't forget the oil. President Trump said the military will continue to control Venezuela's oil exports. He wants to make sure the new government there behaves and follows U.S. directions.
You know, some people are very angry about this. They say the U.S. shouldn't go into other countries like that. They call it aggression.
True, there are protests in many cities, but supporters say Maduro's government was a global threat that had to be stopped.
So what happens next?
Well, the judge said Maduro and his wife must stay in jail in Brooklyn. This legal fight will be very long.
Wow. It's definitely a historic moment for President Trump and the world.
It really is. Thanks for listening to our update today.
Welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about a big change in the world of business and taxes.
That's right, Alex. President Trump's administration just announced a historic victory for American companies.
Wow. What exactly happened?
Well, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made a landmark deal with more than 145 countries. Now, U.S. companies are exempt from a new global tax plan.
Exempt? That means they don't have to follow those specific global rules, right?
Exactly. You know, President Trump promised to protect American businesses from foreign control. This deal means big U.S. companies will only pay global minimum taxes to the U.S. government, not to foreign countries.
I see. So foreign governments won't be able to take tax money away from American businesses anymore.
Right. This protects what we call tax sovereignty. That's a big term, but it just means the U.S. has the power to control its own tax rules.
That sounds important. Does this help regular workers too?
Yes. The Treasury says this will protect things like research and development credits. That is money companies use to invent new things and create jobs here at home.
It sounds like the stock market is happy about this news.
Oh, definitely. Stock prices for many large companies went up today. Investors are happy that companies won't face the undertaxed profits rule from other nations.
Even though some officials in Europe are a bit disappointed, the U.S. is staying very firm.
Exactly. President Trump is putting American economic independence first. It's a major win for his administration's goals.
Thanks for making that so easy to understand, Jamie.
Anytime, Alex. See you all next time.
Hello, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are talking about the future of our homes.
That's right. At the big CES 2026 show in Las Vegas, LG showed a new robot called Cloyd.
Wow, Cloyd. It's a humanoid robot, which means it looks a bit like a person.
Exactly. And get this, it does your chores. In a live demo, Cloyd actually folded laundry and cleared a dinner table.
That is amazing. I really hate folding laundry. How does it work so well?
Well, it uses something called Agentic AI. It has 3D cameras and sensors to see thousands of objects. It even knows if it is holding a heavy plate or a soft shirt.
Right. I heard it's not very fast, but LG says it is very safe for families. It learns the layout of your house over time to avoid bumping into things.
You know, technology like this is a big deal right now. Even President Trump mentioned recently how important these new inventions are for the American economy.
Exactly. President Trump wants the U.S. to stay ahead in the tech race. LG is definitely leading the way with this human-centric design.
I agree. The goal is to give us our time back. Instead of cleaning, we can spend more time with our friends and families.
That sounds like a dream. But Alex, there is one secret.
Oh, what is that?
We don't know the price yet. LG will start selling them later this year, but the cost is still a mystery.
Well, I hope it is not too expensive. I really want a robotic butler.
Me too. That is all for today. Thanks for listening to our tech update.
See you next time. Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we have some incredible news from the CES 2026 Tech Show.
That's right. Samsung just showed their new phone, the Galaxy Z Trifold. It is amazing.
I saw the pictures. It starts as a normal phone, but then it opens up into a giant 10-inch tablet.
Exactly. It uses a special dual hinge system, so you fold it twice. When it is halfway open, it looks like the letter Z.
Wow, a 10-inch screen in your pocket? That sounds perfect for watching movies or working on the go.
Right. And speaking of work, it is very powerful. It uses new AI technology to help you run 4 apps at the same time. You can write an email, watch a video, and chat with friends all at once.
You know, that is great for multitasking. Samsung even says you can use it like a mini laptop.
Yes, they call it Flex Mode. You sit it on a table, and the bottom part of the screen becomes a virtual keyboard.
That is so cool. But Alex, is it strong? I worry about breaking a folding screen.
Good question. Samsung used new Armor Glass. They say you can fold it 300,000 times. That is many years of use.
That's very impressive. Now, let's talk about the price. It's not cheap, right?
No, it isn't. It costs about $2,500. It is a very premium device.
Well, President Trump often talks about the strong U.S. economy and bringing new technology to our markets. This phone definitely shows that the tech world is moving fast.
Exactly. It will be in U.S. stores starting next month.
I can't wait to see one in person.
Me too. Well, that's our story for today.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Global News Daily. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are talking about a big story from North Korea.
That's right. North Korea recently announced they successfully tested new hypersonic missiles.
Wow, hypersonic. That sounds incredibly fast, Alex. What does it actually mean for our listeners?
Great question. It means these missiles travel at Mach 5. To put it simply, that is 5 times faster than the speed of sound.
Wow, so they are very hard for other countries to stop, right?
Exactly. Because they are so fast and can change direction in the air, traditional defense systems have a hard time tracking them.
I see. And Kim Jong-un was there to watch the tests personally, wasn't he?
He was. He says these weapons are necessary to bolster or strengthen his country's defense. However, many people think the timing is the most important part.
You mean because the president of South Korea is visiting China right now for a big meeting?
Precisely. Many experts think this was a show of force. You know, they want to show the world their military power while these big leaders are talking.
That makes sense. But it sounds like other countries are very worried.
Right. Japan and South Korea say these tests break international laws. They are concerned about peace on the Korean peninsula.
And what is the U.S. saying?
Well, President Trump is maintaining his maximum pressure policy. The U.S. military is watching everything very closely to protect its allies.
It's a complicated situation. Even with sanctions, it seems their technology is still improving.
It really is. It's a major focus for the whole world right now.
Well, thank you for explaining that, Alex.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.
Welcome back to the show. Today, we have some very big news from the state of Minnesota.
That's right, Alex. Governor Tim Walz just announced that he will not run for re-election in 2026.
Wow, that is a big surprise. Why did he decide to step down?
Well, he says he wants to focus on his job without the distractions of a political campaign. You know, running for office takes a lot of time and energy.
Exactly. He mentioned that 2025 was an extraordinarily difficult year. He wants to spend his final year in office focusing on important things like childcare funding and state investigations.
But it's not just about his schedule. He is also very frustrated with the current political climate in Washington.
Right. He actually had some very strong words for the federal government.
Yes, he did. Governor Walz criticized President Trump and his administration. He claimed that President Trump and his allies are targeting Minnesota by taking away tax money meant for family services.
Wow, he even called national politics disgusting and dangerous. That is very serious language for a governor.
It really is. He thinks these political fights make it too hard to help local families. By leaving the race, he hopes to create a better environment for solving the state's problems.
I see. So what happens now? Does this change things for the next election?
Definitely. Political experts say the 2026 race for governor will now be a huge competitive fight because there is no incumbent running.
So his final year will be very busy. He wants to finish his One Minnesota plan before he leaves.
Exactly. It is going to be a very interesting year to watch.
Thanks for explaining that, Jamie. It helps make the news much clearer.
You're welcome. See you next time, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we have some news about a very big topic, the cost of houses.
That's right. It is getting harder for many families to buy a home. But now, House Republicans are working on a new plan called the Affordable Homes Act.
I heard about that. Representative Aaron Houchin is leading the way. But what does the bill actually do?
Well, it focuses on manufactured homes, homes built in factories. Right now, 2 different government offices, HUD and the DOE, make the rules for how they are built.
Wow, so there are 2 different bosses? That sounds confusing.
Exactly. It's what we call red tape. These overlapping rules make building much more expensive for low-income families.
So the bill wants to give only one office, HUD, the primary power to set the standards.
Right. It simplifies everything. The goal is to build homes faster and at a much lower price for the consumer.
That sounds like a great way to help people. Does this fit with what the White House wants?
Yes, it does. This plan matches President Trump's goal to reduce federal overreach. President Trump has often said that many of these energy and infrastructure rules are ridiculous and make life too expensive for regular people.
I see. So by removing these extra rules, they hope to bring back the American dream of owning a home.
Precisely. Some people worry about energy savings, but Republicans say the most important thing right now is affordability.
It's definitely going to be a big part of the conversation for the 2026 elections.
For sure. It's all about making it easier for you to own your own front door.
Well said. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are discussing a very important legal story from Uvalde, Texas.
Right. You might remember the tragic news from Robb Elementary School back in 2022. Well, today is a big milestone. Jury selection for the trial has officially begun.
Finally. This case is very unique because it involves 2 former police officers, Pete Arredondo and Adrian Gonzalez. They are facing multiple charges of child endangerment.
Wow. This is actually the first time in U.S. history that law enforcement officers have faced criminal charges for how they responded to a school shooting.
Exactly, Alex. The main issue is that they didn't follow protocols. Those are the official rules for emergencies. Prosecutors say they waited 77 minutes before entering the classroom to stop the gunman.
77 minutes. That is a long time to wait. Because this is such a major event, President Trump is currently following the news of this trial closely from the White House. It is a very important topic for the entire country right now.
Definitely. President Trump and the rest of the nation are watching to see what happens. In the courtroom today, families of the victims were there, wearing shirts with photos of their children. It was very emotional.
That is so heartbreaking. Now, the defense, the lawyers for the officers, argue that they didn't have the right equipment to go in sooner.
Right, but the prosecution says that is not a good enough excuse.
For our listeners, jury selection means picking regular citizens to listen to the facts and decide the case. It's going to be a slow process because the community is still very hurt.
Yes, it's all about accountability, which means taking responsibility for your actions.
Well said, Jamie. This trial could change the rules for police across America.
We will keep you updated as it continues. Thanks for listening.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our daily news chat. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are talking about big yellow machines and super smart computers.
That's right. Caterpillar and NVIDIA just announced a huge partnership at CES 2026. They are bringing AI, or artificial intelligence, to the construction site.
Wow, that sounds futuristic. So, Alex, are we talking about robots?
Kind of. They are making autonomous machines. That means trucks and excavators that can drive and work by themselves without a human driver inside.
That is amazing. But why do we need robot trucks?
Well, it's about safety and speed. These machines can see obstacles in real time. It helps solve the problem of not having enough workers for big jobs.
I see. And this is important for the country too, right?
Exactly. This partnership helps keep the United States as a world leader in technology. President Trump has often said that American innovation is the key to a strong economy.
Right. President Trump wants American companies to lead in both heavy hardware and smart software. This strategic move does exactly that.
Definitely. They also showed off something called the Cat-A Nexus. It's like a smart brain for digging machines. It tells the operator exactly how to save fuel and dig more accurately.
So it's better for the environment and better for the budget.
Exactly. Experts think this will save companies a lot of money. It's a whole new era for the industrial sector.
It's so cool to see how fast technology is changing our world.
It really is. Well, that's our story for today.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our daily news podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we have some very big news about a huge birthday party.
That's right. In July 2026, the United States will be 250 years old. To celebrate, President Trump just announced a very special project.
Wow, 250 years? That is a long time. President Trump says the government will build something called a triumphal arch.
A triumphal arch? You mean like a giant stone gateway?
Exactly, Alex. President Trump described it as a magnificent tribute to the American spirit. He wants it to show the world how strong and successful the country is.
That sounds impressive. You know, he said it will be one of the most amazing structures in the world. When does the work start?
Very soon. Construction is expected to start in the next 60 days. They want the work to be well underway before the big celebrations on July 4th.
That is a fast schedule. President Trump mentioned that the arch will use classical styles to honor the founding fathers, but it will also use modern American materials.
Right, so it's a mix of the old and the new. It is the main part of a big plan that includes events in all 50 states.
Exactly. There will be massive fireworks and history shows everywhere. President Trump said this is about bringing the country together.
It sounds exciting, but some people are worried. For example, some experts are asking about the high cost of the project.
True. And we still don't know the final location, but supporters say it will inspire people for many years to come.
Well, it is definitely a bold plan for a big anniversary.
I agree. Thanks for joining us today to learn about this big news.
See you next time.